Welcome back to Liverpool 12 Man Show. And it is one day away from us being able to, I would put it as celebrate. Um, I would say celebrate, not not do anything in remorse or anything in the lines of being sad. We should rejoice and be happy that these individuals will be moving on to hopefully new endeavors in their lives, and hopefully we'll be moving on to a secure Champions League place. And um, it is one that we would necessarily need to find some solace in knowing that we most likely will be still managed by Arne Slot. So we have to take a little homage there and be supportive and figure out a way forward. But 37 league games in, one left, one final walk out under the lights at Anfield before I guess, the strange, exhausting, emotionally draining and confusing season finally comes to an end. And I wish I could sit here and give you some hopeless football romantic style perception of what we are engaging in. But like an introduction to our destiny or something about redemption. We're on a redemption trail, or I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else you could. Maybe like some triumphant final chapter is ahead of us. But this season has drained a lot of us, and it has drained not only the players, but it's drained supporters. It's drained the atmosphere. It has drained belief at times, and in many ways, it feels like the football itself has reflected that exhaustion. But the one thing I can say has been, excuse me, one thing I can say that has been certainly a redeeming trait or quality of our team, of our fan base, of our community, has been you in the chat. You guys have been very, very supportive, and not only of this channel but other channels as well, of each other, and we we strive on that in a sense. That's very important, at least in my opinion. It is the essence and the soul of our community. And because Liverpool this season has felt like a team searching for itself, um, I still would say that we're not or never can be completely broken, because there's members of this community like you and myself that believe that we can always rally, we can always overcome, and we can always uh, have a brighter horizon, have a brighter tomorrow. That's a better way to put it. And it's difficult because some of the pieces that are making up Liverpool are disconnected, where they're confused, they're caught somewhere between the emotional chaos of us wanting to have that Klopp era, that Camelot, in to some of us, era of football back, and whatever is this new era of Arne Slot that he's trying to involve us into the side. Shout out, Mark. Big up, Mark. Thank you very much. Jesus, yes, he loves you too. Um, but it is not easy. It is completely not easy. Um, we're on the we're about to arrive at match day 38. It seemed so far away when we hit that first game, and here we are. Champions League qualification still technically not secured. Um, But that kind of tells the story of our season. Um, and what I mean by that is that it's been a disappointing one. I don't know if you go as far as to say it was the worst title defense of all time. I don't. Um, I know of champions that have fallen out of Champions League qualifications and certainly fallen lower in the standings. But it is a bad season. And we had high expectations and we fell far, far short of those expectations. Sunday is going to be Sunday's bigger than just league position, I think, though. And what I'm focusing on Sunday is win or lose, win, lose, or draw, I should say. Sunday is about endings. It's about saying goodbye. It's about giving a proper send off to not only two, but three players. I don't know. Henderson isn't necessarily leaving, but he didn't get a proper send off when he did leave Liverpool. So Henderson was influential in the shape and formation of what we created here in Liverpool, as well as Robbo and obviously Salah. So for those individuals who've helped redefine Liverpool Football Club for an entire generation, I'd say, Salah and Robbo have a lot to look back on and appreciate. And I have said this before, and I will continue saying it. Andy Robertson for £8 million from Hull City might generally be, and you tell me if you believe this or not, if you agree with this or not. I know JK has emphasized this quite a bit when we have our conversations, and it started making me really, really contemplate some of this signing. We've had some fantastic signings: Virgil van Dijk, Alisson, obviously Mohamed Salah, Mane, obviously. But Andy Robertson for £8 million from Hull City might generally be the single best value signing of the entire Klopp era. And I ask, do you think I'm wrong? Is there someone else that you think is better value or had more return on money spent? He's not flashy. He's not glamorous. He's the kind of lad that you probably, if you do take in libations, you probably would go for a drink with. He's not the marketed superstar, but he is someone that when the chips fell, would have your back. And for a decade, he gave Liverpool relentlessness, leadership. He gave mentality. He gave aggression. He gave fitness. He gave intensity. He really delivered. He and Trent Alexander-Arnold, I would say, changed Liverpool football fullbacks could be. I would even go as far as to say Robbo and Trent Alexander-Arnold together changed or evolved. When I mean changed, I mean evolved the football fullback role in modern football. Maybe I'm being a little bit, maybe I'm going too far in your opinion. This is why we're here. We can have this conversation. But I honestly do think that. And then you might look towards Salah. I don't know if there's that much more that can be said about Salah that hasn't already been said. But whether it's goals, whether it's his records, whether it's his trophies, whether it's his legacy, if you go beyond the numbers, Salah has become an incredible identity. And what I mean by identity is that he has transcended a lot of what football can bring to a community, to a culture, and he has become expectation. He has become inevitability, and even in a frustrating, and I mean frustrating, final season, I would go as far as say he remained the face of Liverpool Football Club around the world. So Sunday is going to be emotional. Liverpool still have business to finish. We all understand that. There's going to be a lot to take in the sense of, the audience, the crowd, the factor of the game and the environment, but Brentford have something to play for. They're not coming to Anfield for a testimonial. They're not coming to Anfield just to kick the ball around and have some fun. They still have Europe on their minds. Jordan Henderson returns to Anfield, as I mentioned earlier. The goalkeeper, truthfully, and this again, just opinion, okay? The goalkeeper that I believe should be the heir apparent. The goalkeeper, I think, truthfully, should be our starting goalkeeper, Mr. Kelleher. He returns. Even Sepp Vandenberg is going to be returning, and I don't think that Cavallo is. Yeah, I don't think he is fit, but we have to look to the fact that Arne Slot still stands in front of a face demanding answers about style, about direction, about recruitment, about the future of the future identity of this club. That's where we all are currently, I think, in the conversation. And one final game, one final goodbye, and maybe the beginning of a very uncomfortable summer. I guess if the World Cup wasn't here, I think a lot of us would be feeling a lot worse about our circumstances, I believe, because maybe by having the World Cup here or coming up, we can somewhat, divert some of our anxieties. So maybe so. But shout out to everyone joining us tonight. That was my little intro. Let me see who's here. Red Armchair Reporter, shout out to you. Hi, Laura. OGs in the house. Big up to all of you. Beans on toast, definitely. Big up to Mark, definitely. Appreciate the kind spiritual shout. And big up John Conway in the house. Definitely. OG, proper OG. Big up. All right, people, let's get into this. So, final. Let's start with the actual football context around this match. I think is probably the best way and where to start. Liverpool are effectively in Champions League. Big up Edward, by the way. I just tune in, chime in, definitely. Big up. And Liverpool are effectively in Champions League. It would take an absolute, catastrophic ending to our season, and a absolutely incredible one for me to actually overtake us. Shout out to Jimmy, big up Jimmy in the house, by the way. But honestly, that's just mathematically. It's tough. It's very effectively. We're not mathematically in it, but mathematically, it would be very, very difficult for us to not make Champions League. I think that we have been gifted Champions League this season. We have been gifted this season of I would say gifted, but it might be too strong of a word, but we've been fortunate that this season, or Arne Slot, I should say, should be fortunate that the season has been one where I think the Premier League has been at an all-time low. And I believe that because the top-tier teams have been at such poor standards and poor levels, and because these middle-tier teams have certainly maybe played above their station, played above their abilities somewhat, we've seen league kind of get closer. Parity starts to get closer in this league. And we have a new champion. First time in over 2 decades, this team has won the title. So big up to them. And then like I say, the fact that we are having to use the words like effectively, mathematically, we've made it on the final day tells you how far this season has slipped away. And I'll tell you, you can remember that this was a team that once looked capable of sustaining title challenge. I would go as far as this was supposed to be a team that defended their title. In a season like this, where the league is at possibly its weakest, we go out and bolster our team with 450 million pounds worth of reinforcements that this coach wanted. And we have arguably not only a worse season, but possibly the worst season in over 6 decades, maybe more. So I'm gonna let Nolante chime in real quick. I just saw him pop into the panel here. Big up Nolante, by the way.
Yeah, big up, Paul.
Big up. Big up.
Big up to the chat. Definitely Mark Simmons. Amen. Amen to your post about God. Amen to that. But yeah, big up, man. Been a hot minute, and yeah, final day tomorrow. Final day.
Final day. Yep. It is going to be a tough one and a rough one. Tough and rough. Rough Riders, DMX style. You know. There you go. Rough Riders. But yeah. DMX, he actually used to, before his passing, he lived here in the state. He lived in Arizona, surprisingly. He loved Arizona.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, damn. Oh,
yeah, he lived here in Arizona, which is a weird one. You don't expect that, but yeah, that's where this was his home.
Yeah. That'll be good, Jimmy. Good evening to you all.
I would say this final day affects a lot of clubs coming up. This final day is going very important. What would you say is the most important game? What would you say is the most important game on Sunday, in your opinion?
There's only one game, really. I think the West Ham Leeds and the Spurs Everton games are the two most important games. Everything else is whatever, really. there'll be little European spaces, etc. I guess so. For teams European, like obviously Bournemouth will qualify for Europe, which is fair play to them. I think Brian will be there or thereabouts, but it really is only the two games, the relegation battle final day. That's it. Other stuff is just whatever celebrations, etc. Players, managers, So yeah.
Okay. Do you? I'm sure you'll have your eye on that game, but do you have any predictions for that game?
I think I want Spurs to go down, but I think they'll stay up by the skin of the team.
Yeah. Tell me in the chat too. Tell us in the chat who you think is to be fortunate or unfortunate. Is it going to be a case? I mean, Spurs do pay both. Fortunate for both teams. They get to. It's not like they're on the road. They're at home. Both teams are at home. It's put up or shut up time basically. West Ham has let this slip through their fingers. They were on top of the or higher up in the table than the Spurs were, but they've let it seep back in. So we'll see. What's the reason? I have my own reasons why I would like to see Spurs drop down into relegation rather than West Ham. But what are your reasons? Is it because you don't like Spurs, or is it because you like West Ham, or have some affliction towards West Ham?
I don't like Spurs to the extent, but I just feel that if they go, the players that we available, we could dip into the market, and if you can run me my boy Kudus, bring him to Anfield ASAP, so he can level up.
Do you love your boy Kudus?
Well, again, he's touch and go for the World Cup, so yeah, I mean, yeah, he's quality. And just quickly, Joe John with the lyrics, I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up. I said I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up. I said I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up.
Here you go. A little DMX.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, brother. Definitely.
Rest in peace, X-Man. Yeah, rest in peace, X-Man.
Let's see. 2-1 says 2-1. Ooh, 2-1. Oh wow! And he's got 2-1 Everton over Spurs, and by the way, he's got 2-1 West Ham over Leeds. That would be very Spursy.
Yeah, that'd be good. Big up, John. Big up, Mr. Conway, the legend, Mr. Conway. Yes. Yeah, I think we all take that. This is the only time I would want Everton to win. The only time.
Yeah, we definitely will take that. Yeah, there's other reasons. I mean, the reasons why I agree. The only reasons why, because I don't have anything super negative against Spurs fans. I have actually some fellow Spurs fans that are supporters that I call friends, but I think it would be a better team to raid if you in terms of trying to get players off a team that's getting relegated. Spurs would have more talent on their team than I think West Ham has on their team. That's just my opinion. I don't know if you share that or not. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. There's lots of options, yeah. There's lots of options. There's about 6-7 players we can nick off them. But that boosted the squad. So, but I do feel for them because I mean it's bad enough Arsenal winning the league, but for them to go there, oh my god, that is, one half of London. It's near where I used to live as well. So yeah,
that would be like it would be like Liverpool winning the league last season and Everton being relegated, I guess. Would that be the equivalent, maybe?
Oh yeah, exactly. Something along those lines. Or in a different context, us finishing, I remember 1999, we finished When we finished about 6th or 7th, we were just so average and poor, and United doing the treble. That was a horrible year. Horrible we had to deal with the school. Horrible. I'll never forget that. That was horrible. It was a dark season.
Dark days.
But we moved. But yeah, so something along those lines. And actually, let me ask you a question. In the chat, let me ask you a question because, and again, big up MK Toll. I speak with him, and again, I'm getting this from a lot of Liverpool fans, and everyone's got a point, so that's fine. And he's not bothered about Arsenal winning the league. And I asked him, okay, so in that case, so would you be bothered? So he says he's not bothered, he's focused on our club. I said, okay, so if United won the league 5 years in a row and we didn't win it, would that bother you? And he was like, well, no, because it's more at the owners, which I just think is a bit, I don't know, man, it's a bit different, man. That's what I mean. In the league 5 years. I mean, I don't know. What's your opinion, 12, in the chat? I mean, I am bothered about Arsenal winning the league, though it's not as worse as Man United, of course, but I am bothered. I mean, what's your opinion on it?
I think the reason why I'm bothered about it is not necessarily. I can understand where MKTO is going with it, but I'm not bothered by the one thing that does bother me is the sheer fact of we do congregate with a lot of Arsenal supporters in the different forums that we congregate in, especially outside our community, sometimes even inside the community. I mean, like, a lot of the other channels regularly have Arsenal supporters on their channels, quite a bit. So there's no escaping it, and for, I'd say, the last 6-7 years or however long, I think it's been 7, right? 7 years that Arteta's been in control of this team. We've heard the endless comparisons to Klopp now, especially with the trophy that he's won now. Now it's like, it's going to even get worse. And it's just like how we've heard the comparisons of Saka to Salah. It's kind of like there's always this, like, it's like Arsenal wanted and needed to have some type of validation, and they fought tooth and nail to try to just always be some type of in the conversation of something great. And now that they've gotten this Premier League title, they have something to put a foot down on, like actually get a footing and be able to say something in the conversation of others. That can be somewhat annoying. But I think the biggest thing that I am perplexed over isn't Arsenal. As much as I don't like Arsenal, excuse me, as much as I don't like Arsenal, or Arsenal supporters and their community, I would go as far as to say I'm more perplexed over the fact that we didn't defend. I'm more angry over the fact that this was beyond an ample opportunity to defend this title. In essence, all we had to do was perform on the same levels as we did last season. I'm not saying we had to go 8-10 points above what we did last season to kind of get into the 90s and be able to contend with a team pushing for 90 plus. All we had to do was keep our shape and form from the previous season. And we would have been in title contention, if not winning the title. And that's why that's why I'm angry. I'm not angry at Arsenal. Arsenal, congratulations, you've won the title. But I'm just angry about the fact that this season, it's kind of like, you ever play a video game and it's rather than you get your choice in what settings you want, like hard, very hard, easy, medium, normal. Yeah. This was easy settings this season. Easy settings. And we had up, down, left, right, BA cheat code going into this. by bringing in 450 million pounds worth of reinforcements. All these quote unquote top players. That's what I'm angry about. The fact that we missed out on an opportunity. And that opportunity was an easy settings opportunity. And we have no one to blame but ourselves. That's what makes it even more frustrating.
Oh, facts. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say all different things about other people and that, but I'd even go as far as to say too. You weren't with the show yesterday, but JK, big up JK, just joining us.
Easy now, bro.
Okay.
Bless up, Nante. Long time, bro.
Yeah, bless up. Yeah, bless up, bro.
Bless up.
What was I was talking to JK yesterday about this number, and it was an interesting statistic. I'll give you a number. The number is 7. 7 VAR mess ups have been capable of helping. I know it was Chelsea, and there's another team as well. There's like 2 teams. I want to say it was Chelsea and maybe Brentford or Bournemouth, but it was 2 teams, all the same. 7 is second place of the number of times VAR messed up, and because of their mess up, it helped the team in one way or another in a game. Okay, 7 times or 7 mess ups for 2 different teams in the league. That was second place. You obviously know who the first place team is because of the context of what I'm bringing it into. But could you know the number of VAR bailouts, I guess you could say, that Arsenal had this season? And do you know how many bailouts or assists? Let's call them assists. Call them VAR assists. You know how many VAR assists Liverpool had versus the VAR assists that Arsenal had this season? Would you take a guess, Nalante? Be as bold to take a guess.
Probably about 9-0.
You would have to pretty much, well, if you double 0, it's 0. But Liverpool had 3. Arsenal had 18. 18 assists from PGMOL of VAR mistakes that benefited the Arsenal in the long run this season.
That's right. If you put a V in front of their name,
there you go.
There you go, Arsenal. So
Arsenal.
that just knocks the nail on the head there, bro. 18 is a lot. I was surprised, shocked yesterday when I heard that. So Arsenal. And bless up everyone in the chat. Helio, Beans on Toes, Jimmy Duggan, Trudon, Red Armchair, Sem as well, Emery. Bless up, man.
And before I get called out as being, oh, you sound like that's sour grapes, or you sound like you're salty. Let me say, for a fan base, or for a fan base of a club that is, what's the they try to call us Livar Pool, right? We do not hold that. We do not hold that any longer. We do not hold that that name ever again, ever.
Look, at the end of the day, when
the PGMOL has the most assists on Arsenal's team.
a £50 million signing from Italy. He's done a top job first season.
There you go. There you go.
But when the opportunity was there for clubs to moan about VAR if they wanted it or not, even though we had a lot of it was that season where Diaz at Tottenham got done. Remember, it was major. Okay, Wolves was the only club in the whole Premier League who said we don't want it. There you go. You know, VAR since it's come in, it's just destroyed that 2-3 seconds after the ball crosses the line, that energy, you know, that feeling, that's gone now.
No, agreed.
You're looking left, right. Is the linesman's flag up? Is this happening? Have they gone to the camera? No goal is confirmed until it's seen on camera by them people behind. Yeah, it's okay. Everything was cool. So realistically, a penalty is probably the only thing left in the game where you could say, yeah, if the ball crosses the line, it's in. Because if the goalie comes off the line, that's his fault. You know what I mean? So realistically, it's just that's all we've got left in the whole game now. Because when you got a free kick, a guy could have, like when you've sort of shot at the goal, Gapco or anyone can be running in front of the goalie, caught offside, goals cancelled. Penalties are the only things left now, bro. So VAR, bro, it's there. It's just destroyed the game. Arsenal have sort of reaped the rewards this season, but I heard some guys saying that it was Arsenal's turn to win it this year. And but at the end of the day, we all love football, but there's a lot of strop there. There's a lot of messy things, man, and VAR just adds to it, you know.
It really does. You're absolutely right about that. Absolutely right about that. Excuse me. Well, tomorrow isn't going to just be about like it's not just going to be about the game. Obviously, it's obviously going to be about those that are leaving the team. Excuse me. And even if you do reflect back to the game or what is about the game, Liverpool would not only need to lose to miss out on Champions League, but Bournemouth would need to beat Forest, and then they would need to get a 6-goal swing. And what I mean by swing is if we lost 3-0, they need a 3-0 win to force a playoff, or something along those lines. They need a 6-goal swing basically to be able to get what they need, which is an opportunity play. Now, if they get more than 6 goals, then they would obviously 6-goal swing. Then obviously they move on to Champions League. But hypothetically, let's say we were to lose 1-0 and they were to win 5-0, right? Which is possible, of course. The teams would then be level in points, goals scored, head-to-head, and then away goals. The Champions League final place would then be up for grabs. Would you be if it got to that point, what would be your feelings? What would be your expectations, basically, if we were at that stage? Because it's almost like it would be poetic, almost in essence, if we did get to that stage where, we're trying to play, we're doing some historic playoff game to get into the Champions League, and playing 39 games in essence rather than 38. How would you feel about that? Either one of you can answer.
Embarrassing, considering the points gap and the team, how much we spent and all this, I think if Haaland didn't score the other day and Bournemouth got that 1-0 win, it would have been a lot messier now, you know what I'm saying? So we should count our lucky stars. At the end of the day, quality-wise, player-wise, we've got the players to destroy Brentford tomorrow. It's just the manager, bro. So ever since the results in the last few days, Leeds beating Brighton, that took Brighton out of the equation, sorted, and then Bournemouth 1-1. That's that's done. So for me, we'll be okay. We might even take over Villa, bro. If Villa lose to City and we do Brentford, we got a better goal difference. We'll be above them. So job done, fourth. Yeah, I'll take that tomorrow.
Would you go as far as to say this, Delonte? Tomorrow is going to be the first time Henderson plays at Anfield since leaving for Saudi Arabia in 2023. I think like the difficult part about Hendo's legacy is that there have been some people that have allowed the ending to overshadow the reality of what he contributed to this team in that buzzword identity of this team. Because without Jordan Henderson, Liverpool do not probably become, the level of mentality monsters that they were. They may not, maybe they don't even win the Champions League, maybe without his assistance. Maybe they, we're waiting more years than the 30 before that to do so. And Salah mentioned it himself. He said, without Hendo in that dressing room, Liverpool would not have achieved what we've achieved. He deserves proper recognition, reception, not because the exit was perfect, but because the legacy still matters. What do you feel about Henderson returning to Anfield? And what do you think? How do you think we should, be able to look at him as a former legend, obviously, but also look at him as now, hey, he is our opponent, our opposition as well?
Look, I think Hendo, when he first came to the club, I don't think a lot of people wanted him. I remember seeing him at Sunday. I thought he was a good player, but nothing more. But Dalglish, again, he was outdated with his. He's still living in the 80s, early 90s with his tactics and players. Adam Downing, and you know what? And obviously Brendan came in. Well, Continental young managers, the new wave of these young managers, like under 40. Try to play a certain style of continental kind of way, if you want to look at it. And Henderson wasn't that guy. And fair play to Henderson, shows the balls of the guy. He said, you want to do that? He said, no, I'm staying. And he stayed and he worked his way in. So, obviously, remember we happened 13-14. He was suspended and we didn't win the title. And obviously, a lot of people say, if Henderson would have played, they would have won the title, which is, there and there, but it just shows worth of the guy, and he went strength to strength. There's always criticism. He learned under our great captain, top 3 player of all time, Stevie G. Learned under a great captain. He picked up knowledge. He took the role on his own, barking orders, making sure professionalism was on the team. And he did his bit. And he played a bit as well. He played a bit. He done a bit of tricks and flicks. He's not that player, but sometimes some of his stuff goes underrated because you just think he's just a run around workhorse. As who said that? Old Red Nose said he's just lousy horse race. He just runs and that's it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of underquality for Henderson, and look, he won everything. Whenever everything there is, and he should definitely get a good reception. Wherever people think about him, he brought a lot to our team. He grew as a player and as a captain. So
yeah. A lot of players definitely grew towards Hendo, definitely. So I will admit though, I was one of those that was not necessarily. I would have. I still to this day think that there was the trade or the transfer that they were going to do. I thought still would have benefited us, but then again, I have a bias, so. I admit it. That's least. That's the first step. That's the first step. You never know.
Look, for me, bro, big up to Henderson. For me, one of my favourite players for Liverpool. Why? Attitude, spirit, the whole shebang. He had it all. For me, that's assist to Salah for him to get his hat-trick away to United, outside of the foot, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And what a guy, bro. Salah picked him up as well, because he was saying Hendo did a lot, chatting, this, that, and the other, helped him out.
Yeah, I thought it was, and again, for a season where, and this is why it's weird, like as in, I know that this season has had Mo be the, I won't call it poster child, but like as in, the definitely the main focus of a lot of the attention, and some of that is rightfully so because he's put himself in the crosshairs for that. But at the same time, he still has done some great and noble things, showing his humility, showing his own, showing his ability to lead and be and recognize his place, in the sense of his blessings that he's living, by even bringing up the Henderson thing. he was one of the first people to really like make an emphasis of including like Henderson in this tribute on this day, and I thought that was very cool of him to do. Don't know if you guys agree. Yes, no, maybe. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. 100%. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
Because he could have easily just like, made it about himself, or at least what a lot of people were referencing as him already doing. At least in my opinion, he could have done that, and I don't think he did. And that's why, again, I thought that he was very magnanimous to bring in Henderson and allow for him to share in some of the glory and the shine of what is going to be obviously two legends leaving the game. Henderson, I don't think is going to be leaving the game, or at least I don't have an inside track as to whether he will.
He's in the England World Cup squad. He'll be playing next season.
Yeah, you would think.
Fair play to him. You know what I mean? He's a good example to the youth players of how to reach the top without being the best player on the pitch, football-wise. He's a prime example for that. Yeah. It's all about attitude, bro. And I'll tell you the truth, if we had a Henderson on the pitch this season, bro, do you think we'd be in 5th now, doing what we just did this season? No. Henderson would have got everyone in check straight away, bang. It's like, I would have taken Henderson back for this season. I don't care. The way we played, I'm taking him before Gravenberch and McAllister.
Yeah.
Look at his goals and assists, bro. Come on. He's got goals and assists this season.
I mean, if we're taking former play, I would have, I got you.
So he's got the right attitude, bro. We're missing that fucking vocal voice on the pitch. A British guy,
Yeah. You could make the argument that maybe you can make the argument maybe Milner could be that guy too. But I understand.
I just think Henderson's a bit more energetic and a bit more probably got more thing in his legs than I would say Milner has. Milner hasn't really played that much this season, even though he smashed the Gareth Barry's record of games. Well, I just think Henderson in a different player. Then let's go for that. Henderson's vocal part of his game in another player is what we've missed this season, bro. Sometimes I like my captain in the middle of the park. So he gets stuck in, can shout orders from there. So.
Okay. What else are we talking about? Saw Manchester United linked to Ederson today. Yes, that is absolutely true that Ederson has been linked with a return. I saw this. This could have been our moment of Red Zen, but I guess I'll show it now. I'll keep all the rather than have a slide or a jab at some of our rivals. I'll just do the jabbing right now. I saw this about Onana. Andre Onana said, excuse me, the former Manchester United goalkeeper, I need to return to Manchester and win the Champions League anthem next season. I want to win the quadruple.
What's he on about, Rob?
Yeah, no, come back, man. I'll welcome him back. Yeah, no, come back.
Come back.
Yeah.
Come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Put those gloves on again. They're waiting for you at United. Toilet.
We're all waiting for you.
Yeah.
We are all waiting for you.
If someone forgot to tell him he's going to be sold, but anyway.
Yeah. Oh man, I saw that. That made me chuckle. Anyhow, big up Lone Sheep. Big up.
Oh, bless him. That was Adam as well.
Lone Sheep.
Oh man. All right.
Nana from Villa, he's good. I like him as well.
Yeah.
Right down there. He was on the subs bench the other day in the final. I didn't understand why, but yeah.
No, because he just come back from injury, JK. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, so hence he was on the bench. Otherwise, he would have started definitely.
A good little player. I knew when he was at Everton, I thought he's a good little player.
Yeah, that's another one that's embarrassing. That's a guy that I would want. Unai Emery. It's not goals, and we can't get Luis Enrique, and obviously Alonso's gone. I'll get me Unai Emery. getting
Really?
in the ring. Yeah, he's slept on. He really is slept on. Tell you what, man, you know the way Villa play and the way he can change tactics. Another Europa League. Yes, sir, man. We'll be if he was in charge next season, we'll be challenging for the title, guaranteed.
Okay. I can't. I don't know if I can go back on my. I can't. I actually called out Unai Emery, so I don't know if I can go back on my tweet. I guess we can all go back on things we say, but
Shame on you. Shame on you, Tom.
I think Emery's a good coach. Don't get it twisted. But I did say I called him out, and when I was watching the Villa game, I was like, you apologize to Elliot. You want to do a solid? You're up 3-4, whatever it was, 4-0 in this game. Get him in this game.
You're bringing Matson on and all this, them sort of guys.
Yeah.
Elliot again.
Get him in this game.
So for Harvey, man. Yeah, I think Villa have messed him up. I don't know if it's on night. Well, he might have a little bit to blame. Them and Slot, they messed Harvey up. Because at the end of the day, you knew what the price was. So why did you buy him then? Why did you get him if you're not going to use him?
And the thing is, bro, the Slot had opportunity to say, you know what, lad, you ain't getting no game time there. I'd rather have you here on my bench.
Mm-hmm.
Bang.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. He would have boosted us up. Slot is too, what's that word? I want to say controlling, but he don't broaden his horizons in the way of keeping a squad happy, in the way of saying, like, using his brain. Because what happened for me, another major red flag was this one, bro. Chiesa used to come on in games, and every game he played, he was doing something. He's running back, scoring goal, or an assist. And everyone was like, yo, he's looking fitter, he's getting better, fair play Slot. And then what happened, he hit a peak where he kept on coming on sub and kept on doing good, but he needed to start games. Or be more involved somehow.
Mm-hmm.
What happened, bro? We didn't see him for 2 months.
Yeah.
And what's happened since he's come back? He's looked like he's never played football before, bro.
Yeah.
There you go. And that tells you the management of this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sick of it. Sick of it. Like, come on, man. If you had a happy Chiesa and Elliot on the bench, you've got two fucking guys going to give you 100%.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He wasted it.
Yeah.
Say again, bro.
Yeah, you're right. And it could start some games.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like, broaden your horizons. Look what's available. Kwanzaa, did he really need to go Leverkusen? He's in the England squad now, Kwanzaa. There's no Liverpool players in the England squad.
Yeah.
Trent ain't going.
Yeah.
Huh?
Had a solid season at Leverkusen. Had a very solid season.
There you go. So why couldn't we just let him go on loan and bring him back next season? Whatever it was, But all in all, the club with Slot together have fucked around quite a lot. Okay, we got blinded by the Isak and Wirtz deals, and I'm happy we still got them. But he got rid of a lot of players who could have done a job. Because you've seen it this season, bro. We've had two sub goalies. You're trying to tell me that sub goalie was Woodhouse or Woodburn? Woodburn? Is it Woodburn?
Woodman.
Woodman. Yeah.
Woodman. Like, fair play to Woodman when he came in. He did pretty well. But I'd rather have a Harvey Elliott on the bench than him. You understand my point there? Like, use your common sense, Arnie. I told you, he's his own worst enemy. Playing mind games, Klopp did it different. He was like, look, if me and you get on, you're going to play a part in this game. Not anyone, I remember when Henderson gave an interview, he was like, go and ask the manager if we can have training a little bit earlier instead of the late afternoon or whatever. And everyone was sort of flapping it to go and ask him. Henderson went to go and ask him. Then Klopp said to him, bring in the guys who said they don't want to train later on in the afternoon. They want to do it in the morning. And Henderson, okay. Flapping it, did like he told them, and none of them wanted to go. That's respect, bro. This manager, I don't think he's got that. When you got that respect thing there between the players and manager, that's the petrol to get you winning. Okay, but if you've got a manager, 1 week he's arguing with Curtis, the other week it's quick. Chiesa's getting stressed out. Then you got Salah. this ain't the way you keep your boat steady, you know? That's rocking the boat. That's rocking the boat there big time. And he's doing it too many times, bro. Liverpool is a club that don't rock the boat. That's why we love Liverpool. It's a stable club. Top to bottom, yeah, even though the owners aren't my cup of tea, but top to bottom are in order. But this manager has sort of just destroyed everything that was built in 10 years under Klopp in one season. And that's the bigger picture. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Chelsea, Tottenham, 1-1. Worst records form-wise in the league in Europe, actually, I think Tottenham had. And they came to Anfield and got a point. Come on, man. Like, your third position was there for the taking. If you beat United away and didn't faff around in that Tottenham and Chelsea game, yeah, that third spot was mine. And I said, you know what, after we got out of the Champions League and the FA Cup against City, where we lost 8-0 on aggregate in them 3 games, I was like, you know what, fuck this. I need top 3 now. I need that third position for me to have some respect for Arne Slot. Look what's happened. We're in 5th. We can even finish 6th tomorrow if something fucking crazy goes on. We won't though, but you know what I mean? So he brings danger to himself. He's brought danger to our Champions League participation next season, even though he might not be here. And I don't want a Florian Wirtz sitting there thinking I came to Liverpool to play Champions League football. I'm playing Europa. No. Look at Wirtz, his progress as well. Who's there to help him mentally? Curtis Jones is the only fucker on the pitch who was willing to help Wirtz out, because every time Wirtz got the ball, Curtis was right next to him to say, come on, give me the ball. 1-2, kept it moving. And then he got into games, bro. I can go on all day about the problems of this season.
I can see you can.
In black and white. It's in black and white, bro. And then this John Henry needs to give me a call, or Edwards does, and I'll tell him, this is the problem here. Come on, Arne Slot. Come on.
Let's talk about lineup then, people. Let's talk about lineup. And honestly, this lineup says everything about Liverpool's current state, in that we could be possibly seeing Marmadashvili, or we could possibly seeing Ali, or we could possibly seeing Isak, we could possibly be seeing Cody Gakpo, we could possibly be seeing there's the possibilities are endless.
Nothing's sure now, bro. You're saying that, what you just said. Nothing is sure no more. This is what I realised in the past year, that nothing is sure with this team no more. See, back in the days, we're 3-0 down to Barcelona, bro. I said, if we get a goal in the first goal in that second leg at Anfield, we're going to win that fucker. And what happened? We did it. That's gone. That sort of energy is gone.
Finish your thought.
No, that's just for me. And yesterday, I was watching the premiere of Salah's video of leaving, and it showed clips of old games, Klopp talking about, bro, I had water coming down my eyes, man. I was like, yo, look at that football there. And what happened? The next video, after that show ended, on YouTube, the next video was the Dortmund and Barcelona comebacks in one video. It was just like a little quick minute, bro. I was like, yo, look at the stadium. Look at the fans there, bro. I had water coming out my eyes. I was like, where's that gone? Like, the energy in them videos, bro, when we came back against Barcelona and Dortmund, bro, it was wild. And you could see the energy there on the pitch, the way we scored them goals, the way we came back, the way Robbo hit Messi on the head, stuff like that, bro. And I was like, yo, we've gone far away from that energy, man. And that was another eye-opener for me. Yesterday, when I watched that premiere of Salah and what Klopp and everyone was saying and that, yeah. And I could see from Virgil's demeanor, he's destroyed inside, bro.
No, he doesn't want to.
I've never seen nothing like it.
I don't think Salah wants to leave. I don't think Salah.
Of course he don't. He loves Liverpool, bro.
I don't even think Salah needs to personally leave. But I mean, unfortunately,
he's lying it. You got to line it. Maybe it's better.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
look, but bro, Nante, look. I know you're not a big fan of what Salah said and the timing of it, and I understand that. But all he was really highlighting was, I prefer the old manager's football compared to this guy's. That's what he said indirectly for me. That's what I got out of it. And he was just trying to show to the fans, like, look, we fucking care and we realise what's happening. That's what I got out of that. You know, maybe the timing weren't great. He could have waited until the end season ended. Yeah.
I agree. Agreed. And I know. I have two things. I want to make sure I keep my initial question steady, but I'll ask this just to go off of what JK just said. I just think that Salah said, not only Salah said what pretty much every fan has been saying all season, but he also, I believe, by obviously the likes and some of Jamie Carragher was criticizing Curtis Jones, for instance, for not only liking the comment, but he made an emoji of clapping. He made a clapping emoji or something like that for a statement, being like he applauds it.
Fair play. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we needed a champion to stand up and say something, maybe before it's too late, or maybe even before that platform that he has is gone. And he stood up and said it. Now, would have been a better time to say it, after the season or at a different place or keep it behind closed doors. That's a debate you can definitely have. But at the same time, tell me that what Mohamed Salah said wasn't what you're thinking. If it's not what you're thinking or believing, you don't believe what he said is true, or at least aligned with what you feel, then that's a different story, I think. But I think that for a good number of us, it aligned with how we feel and what we think, and we don't have the ability. We've there's like 6 million people that signed a petition. Has that done anything?
That's crazy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it took one man to say what he did, to use his platform the way he did, to make the entire platform shake.
Yeah.
More so than 6 million of us signing, or not, I didn't sign the petition, but 6 million of our fan base signing it might not even be all part of our fan base, but still 6 million people signing this petition.
I don't know.
And that's what it is.
Look, at the end of the day,
Go ahead.
I didn't like, as soon as Talk Sport and Sly Sports made this into a topic, then I realised, you know what, there you go, they put the petrol on the fire. Because when you look at it as a civilised human being, what Salah said, at the end of it, he was like, I'm going to make sure we get Champions League football for next season. That was his last sentence of what he wrote. Mm-hmm. So he starts off with, we missed the heavy metal football. Mm-hmm. And he finishes it off with, we're going to get Champions League football next season, I promise, or something like that. So that's how I'm looking at that conversation. The guy's going to leave after 8-9 years, bro. It's like, he ain't got... I know the Liverpool way is the best way, like, keep it behind closed doors and stuff. But I think just the way the season's going and the way fans were behaving on shows and this and that, he sort of... Yeah. It was too much, He was wild, bro. He was a wild west a few weeks ago against Slot, man. I was like, yo. Yeah. That's pretty bad. So Salah comes in and takes the attention away from Slot. So I think he did him a favour there, bro. Yeah. It's true. Because since that, no one's really talking about Slot. It's about, what did Salah say? There you go. Job done.
I don't know about it, Jay. I think this fight is still personally on Slot, so now everyone's kind of just saying, again, it's splitting the fan base, ex-players. That's the thing, it's coming more fire. And I get everything. And but what Salah's saying, it could have been said by PVD, it could be said by anyone. And who knows that has already been said. We just don't know about it. That's the thing. It's only because, and that's the thing, it's true, but regardless of how bad Slot is, you don't dig the manager out like that. It's kind of a spit in the face. Oh, I'm leaving, so let me just say about heavy metal football, stuff like that. Yes, fair enough, but regardless, don't disrespect the manager, because at the end of the day, the manager still regardless of bad or not, he's still getting on with things, and this is what he's kind of done. That's the thing. And yes, he cares about the club and etc. But you got to have a current standard, because at the end of the day, and you probably, to both of you probably disagree with me, there's a little bit of selfishness in there. I'm honest, a little bit of selfishness in there, because you're still doing the dig that at Slot when we kind of know what's going on, and then Slot has to deal with the question as bad as he is, and He tried to, they tried to prod him, and look what he's got to do. What can he say? He's saying a little bit, but he doesn't want to go in that direction,
Mhm.
That's the thing. You just wait. Just wait until you go, whatever. Do this. It's not good. You put more fuel on fire. And now all this clapping, and the players are coming. It's kind of just saying, you know what? We don't know, but maybe some of them are like the Leones and Jacques. I don't think they're putting light because they understand everything. They just think it's because it's Mo Salah. He's a legend and of the club. So they're like, all right, cool. He's saying something about Liverpool, but all the Champions League and stuff like that. Yeah, we know that. That's not that.
Okay. Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. But it's the in between. It's the disrespect. You've done it once, which came out and blew a storm. That more, and we know stop, but more pressure on the team and this and that. And now you're doing it again. You're dropping bombs. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you love the club, park that to the side. Enjoy your day, and afterwards, once you finish, say whatever, man. I don't like that. Selfishness, in my opinion, a little bit.
I understand your points. Some of them I agree with, some of them I disagree with. I would just say I disagree that I agree that there's a bit of selfishness in it, but I also think it was selfless as well, because I do believe that he was willing to step up and obviously say things that are a part of this locker room already. And I would go as far as to say that there's reasons why players are quitting on this. I think is really quitting on this team. Salah, as in rather than pursue and try to push and try to work with this coach and try to figure out a solution, they're giving up. Whether it's Curtis Jones, whether it's Robbo, whether it's Salah, whether it's even other players that have been already pushed to the side, they are giving up on this coach. And I think that even some of the locker room needed a champion. I don't agree with the fact I understand your points about maybe VVD should have said something, or maybe even Robbo could have said something since he's the vice captain. I think that if there's anyone that's going to be quote unquote the company man, usually the captain and vice captain that represent and are the essence of the face of the team, probably would be the captain. So therefore, I don't think that VVD would have been the appropriate person to step up and say it. That would have been a complete mutiny, I think, if that was the case. We all know that this mutiny, or at least this betrayal of trust, has already been unraveled in December for Salah. So if there's anyone that could be the patsy, or anyone that could be the person that can be that guy to say, you know what, I'll go out and take one for the team, it was Salah, because VVD is going to return next season. VVD can't say that and return next season, No, if VVD came out and said something, then I think you could pack his bags. He'll probably be gone too, So
True, Tol. But the thing is, everyone is saying maybe that's already been said, but in a different context. VVD, maybe it's already been said. Maybe Robbo has spoken to the dressing room about the standards and how bad it is. Because the difference for me, Mo and Robbo said, you know what, he didn't have any digs at the manager, and maybe he doesn't like the style. Who knows? We'll find out later on. But he said he's been acceptable, the players, etc. We need to jump and be the club we can. Leave it as that. Cool, it's unacceptable. Leave it as that. But when you're doing your back and forth with the manager, regardless of how bad it's not good and it's not healthy. And yeah, you're right. It could be the human shield of some, or maybe. And yes, I'm not doubting he does play for the clubs, but like I said, little things he's done in his career, there's selfishness, not thinking about the club, but because I'm the fan's favourite, let me do this, and then everyone could say, there, and yeah, certain ex-players haven't got out, have things about him, but he does this thing, and certain ex-players have the right to say, you know what you doing? So it is what it is now. What's done is done, The Slot versus Salah saga can end tomorrow, and then we just move on.
It will. I think the Civil War will end tomorrow, and I think it's actually the best thing for not Salah. I think it's the best thing for possibly Slot to not have this player as his adversary in the locker room, because obviously it has created division amongst our team. I did have a nuanced question that I was thinking, and I like Dutch football. I like a lot of. I grew up on a lot of different Dutch players being not role models, but like players that I enjoyed watching. But the sheer fact that we just said in the initial portion of me getting the transition into this segment of the lineup, I kept saying, well, possibly we're going to play this player, or possibly we're going to play that player. Possibly we'll play, I don't know, Gomez at right back, or possibly we'll play Curtis Jones at right back, or maybe even Dominic Szoboszlai at right back. Who knows? The sheer fact that I can appreciate players that can play multiple positions on the pitch. However, I would prefer to see you excel at a sole position rather than be good at all positions, really, And it seems like this coach is so comfortable scrambling and moving and playing a Dutch style of football and having players play out of position, playing Florian Wirtz as a left wing as opposed to a 10, or playing again, playing Curtis Jones or Dominic Szoboszlai in the right back role, or playing Frimpong as a right winger, which he can play, but I don't think he plays at the level that we necessarily need him to play sometimes, or a right winger we need there for right now. You could go as far as Cody Gakpo being shuffled as a center forward, or as a left wing, or maybe even as a right wing sometimes. Rather than have a team get players comfortable with each other and get some real solidarity, some real synergy, we keep mixing and scrambling this team. And some might say, oh, it's because of injuries. I get that. That happens, but it happens to all teams. And with that said, rather than rely on the players that are specialists in that area, we've still conceded to play players in roles that they're not necessarily their best at. And I remember when Jurgen Klopp did this, when we had a center half issue, right? And he was playing Fabinho, and he's playing Henderson sometimes as our center half. Now, it worked here and there, and then sometimes it didn't. And despite that, we still had a situation where we were able to get, when we did put in Natty, or we put in even Reece Williams, right? Specialist, we thrive. Is this coach's method of Dutch football maybe is it less that it fits Liverpool, or is it less that it fits maybe the Premier League is my question? Or do you think it does fit? Maybe you do think it fits. Lamonte's thinking about that one. Yeah, you had to go ahead. You want to tell us what your thoughts are?
Let's say it fits Liverpool or the Premier League. I think more so us. I just think he's just trying to overcomplicate things. Like, he could have just played Calvin Ramsey when we had all those injuries, but then you do the sub of thing on Jones, and yeah, they can do a job for a game to two, but who's going to be exposed? Just why you overcomplicate things? Just play a right back. God damn it, just play a right back. Just play a right back, and yeah, maybe Calvin Ramsey's not gonna. Of course, he hasn't played for a long time, so maybe he might struggle. But then you go, maybe he might good, but you don't know till you give him a chance. This Sabo and Jones thing, and Sabo, you just overcomplicate things. It's been to our detriment this season, and that's just one of many decisions, as JK has said. You can go on and on. That just kind of annoyed me.
Is it maybe the fact of like our coach isn't courageous or maybe bold enough to take, or maybe even willing to put in the extra hours? Because I mean, like, if the player is all these players are decent enough to be on the squad. Let's not get it twisted. They obviously they've shown some type of talent to be in the placement that they are as a first teamer, but maybe it means taking more, time in training, or taking more attention towards that player and trying to make sure that they can get to the level and place and understanding of the game that you need them to be in. And you're right. Jurgen Klopp, for instance, again, he kept utilizing those makeshifts for our center halves. And other than Manchester City game, I guess, when Fabinho played in the center half role for us, I don't think it was there was many of the fan base crying out, just go out and either get us a center half or play center halves, play the center halves that we have, despite the fact that, yes, they're not Matip, or they're not, they're not to the level of that, but they're still at least specialists in that position. And you could argue, again, that one of the reasons why we ended up going on to get into Europe was because of the play of Nat Phillips, because of Reece Williams playing not only their position, but being coached well enough to be contributors and not detractors from our team. Is it maybe because Arne Slot doesn't want to put the time and attention and to a Calvin Ramsey, someone that he might not believe will have a position or a place in this team? And it's not that Jurgen Klopp, I think, thought that one day Phillips was going to be our starting center half, but he played the role when he needed to play the role. Is that too far, JK, in saying, or do you think that there's more to it than what I'm placing as the narrative?
Like, for me, it all boils down to if you're alert in your brain to realize what the situation, what's going on. A top midfielder, DM, his main game is being alert, so he's so set in his ways, he can't get out of his comfort zone to change his team to get him a fucking result for him to keep his job. It's a cycle. And he don't help himself. I've been saying this since day one. He don't help himself. Because look at it. When you look at his football, it's like first gear, second gear football, first half. And what happens is the oppositions get a goal in the first 20 minutes. Okay? And if we start off good, get a goal, maybe two, we don't go and smash another 3-4 in that first half. What we'll do, we'll sit back and let the opposition have another 70-odd minutes of trying to get 2-3 goals to get back in the game, bro. And that's all down to him gambling the game away in that way of being cautious. He's a very cautious football manager. And because of his cautiousness, he actually gambles a result at the end of the day. That's what I see it as. His cautiousness. If he thought, you know what, fuck this, I'm not the guy running up and down like a madman. It's the players on the pitch. They're going to do it for me. So I'm going to tell them, listen, as soon as the game, that first whistle blows, I want you in fourth gear, fifth gear, and get this game done by half time. Because we've got.
I would have gone as far as to say, go get through your gears early, get us a lead or get us where we need to be, and realize that, or realize that Chiesa, or realize Rio, or realize Trey, you're going to be looked at to keep that pace, to keep that momentum, to get into a game and keep us at a high octane level and keep those gears rolling. Well, we don't do that. People, I saw on Talking Cop, there was a guy, two of the guys actually, because there was three people on the panel. There was a female host, and then there's two males on the panel. One was, I believe, from Ireland. I don't know where the other one was from, but like, and they basically, and I think the females from America, I think. But the point is, the two gentlemen were saying they're all obviously Liverpool fans, but they were so very critical of Chiesa. Now, I'm not saying that Chiesa is at his world level, a World Cup level that he was 2-3 years ago, whatever lines, whatever you want to dictate him being world class, if that. But I will say that it's very difficult to get rhythm and form and rhythm if you don't play. If the only time you're playing is in training, if the only time you're playing even in training is as the opposing side to the first team, it's very difficult to get rhythm if you are going to games where you probably won't see minutes until the 86th minute of a game. It's difficult to get your mindset to think, I'm going to be getting 4 minutes at the end of the game to try to be a game changer. That's a difficult mindset. Some might say, who cares? You're paid. Do what you need to do. Get it done. All well and good. But I just think that it's very difficult for a player to get any bit of rhythm to do so. And these guys on that show were talking about how like one guy was just going off about he's out of shape. He's not good. He's basically a shell of himself. Blah 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 blah. And I was just like, I don't know what Chiesa has done to you, but it's not that serious, man. I don't look at Chiesa and say he is the essence of our problems. I think that you look at a lot of different players, whether it's Trainioni, whether it's these are players that I think that should have gotten more minutes. Trainioni should have gotten more minutes. I think that Joey G should have got more minutes, but you might push back and say he's been injured too much. But all the same, I still think he should have got some type of regular minutes to try to get into form, maybe even get into shape enough that he doesn't pick up these. Because like if you don't play enough, that's how you get injuries. Like if you routinely play, you can get into the rigors of knowing what a 90-minute Premier League level intense game is going to entail, as opposed to you every blue moon, every 5th, 6th game, getting some real minutes. It's like having a car and only starting it every 3rd week. You're more likely to have things break down on it if you don't regularly start it and run that car. So it's one of those cases. I guess maybe I'm going on a little bit of a needless tangent. There you go. Okay, Hugo does not like Arnie. Okay. Look, let's just since we're running low on time here, let's go straight into these predicted lineups. I'll bring up the lineup that I have or believe that possibly will be the lineup that we go with. And this is the lineup I believe that we might see, we might not. It's got maybe some unique players involved, but goalkeeper, possibly Alisson. I know Mamardashvili, if Alisson is not ready, that certainly will happen. You know, Ali's had injuries completely disrupt his year this year. Once again, and maybe this is his last swan song with us. I'm sure he would like to, if this is going to be his last game, I'm sure he would like to partake in being in the game. Right back, I have Joe Gomez. Again, the season became the season of emergent solutions. We all know that Gomez has had the opportunity to play occasionally, but he hasn't been, even when sometimes he's been healthy, he hasn't been our coach's top choice. So we could see Curtis Jones in that role. If you start that, I'll read it in a second.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And then center back, obvious pair. I have Ibu, VVD. And then I have Robbo making this start. Now I have Robbo making the start primarily because it is a game where obviously it's his last game. I don't want to see Robbo get, garbage minutes. I'd rather see Robbo play a good 70 minutes and then be able to get Kirkaz to be subbed in and him to be able to get, him to get serenaded off the pitch, basically. I think that would be more of a proper passing of the baton, basically, for Robbo. Definitely one of our living legends, obviously. I've got also in the pivot. I know this is the pivot that I've been wanting to see all season, pretty much as a regular pivot. I know Maka has fallen off. I get that his legs aren't at the standards that we once knew. I would like to see us have Grav and Dom as the pivot. I threw in Florian Wirtz as our 10. I give Salah the start. Again, I know that this is a big question. Salah saying goodbye is going to be controversial if he doesn't get the start. But I have Salah. I think that if this coach wants to be if he wants to be not only appreciated and at least understood by this fan base, despite the fact that your own player did what he did, you still have to give a legend. You have to give the legend this last day. I have Cody Gakpo starting as our center forward, and I have Rio starting as our left wing. I know it would be nice to see Rio get the start. In my opinion, what are your thoughts on this lineup, and where would you make your differences in starters? This is my the team that I would like to see play. This isn't necessarily who I think Arne Slot's going to go with. So you can give me who you'd like to see play, as opposed to who you think Arne Slot's going to play with on Sunday. Go ahead, JK.
Yeah. What I would do there is, majority of it, sound. I'll just play Chiesa for the instead of Gakpo. Yeah, man. That's it. That's my change.
Did my Chiesa speech just inspire you?
It inspired me to say that, bro.
To say that?
Yeah. No, but at the end of the day, these guys who sort of badmouth Chiesa, they are the type of people who don't appreciate when someone's trying to make an effort. And what happens is, like I said about Arne Slot not timing it well in that way where he came on as sub, he got better each game, got more involved, and it was to a point where we think, you know what, we could even start him now. And what happened? We've never seen him for 2 months. That's the argument you can tell anyone who gives Chiesa a hard time. Chiesa can't find his feet, Bob, since he's come back. Every time he comes on a sub now, what does he do? Nothing. There you go. So the proof's in the pudding there. So tomorrow I'd give Chiesa that top start. I'm not sure if Isak's going to be on the bench, if he's going to be available. He's had a horrible season, and look, when you really look at it, when you look at that setup there, who's had a good season there out of all of them players on the pitch? One guy for me. And you know who that is? The guy who I said didn't have a great last season. So that's embarrassing. For a title-winning team, embarrassing, bro.
Oh, I thought you were going to say...
If I had that team there in front of me now, if I had that team there, and I'm the Liverpool manager now, thinking, you know what, I'll take Gakpo off, I'll put Chiesa in there. Give him a start. Let's see what he can do. Last game of the season. And then I'm thinking, okay, I got Wirtz there, Rio and Salah as well. I'm like, fucking hell. That's some attack. When you look at it on paper, Chiesa, Salah, Wirtz and Rio, not bad. What's going to happen with us? We're not even going to fucking score. Because the information or the energy from the manager towards them 4 guys there isn't sufficient enough for them to get their fucking pull their shorts up and socks up.
What are your what's the team that you want to go out with, Monte? Again, this is your team that you want to go out with. Not what you think Arnie's going to go out with. This is your team you want to go out with.
Yeah, the only change I would do is drop Konate, play Jerry and PBD, and put Frimpong as a right back, and then other than that, yes, I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that team. Yeah, the only change I'll do.
God bless up, Jimmy. Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Again,
Before I even roll into the next one, I said I'd read this quote up. It says, "Should we start thinking about slot type players to fulfill his vision? Maybe we are looking back in the rear view mirror too much. We are not going to play Klopp style football under this manager." I will tell you this. Look, what you're saying is definitely got merit behind what you're saying, Lone Sheep. Klopp is not most likely walking through those doors, and this manager is not trying to be Klopp Jr., but or Klopp 2.0, let's call it. But I will say this. I believe that the reason why we won the title last season is because Slot played a version of Klopp style football. He played more of a closer association to what you got from Klopp's football. It wasn't completely like Klopp. Let's not get it twisted. We rarely put the foot down and just put the foot down on the pedal and just went straight from 0 to 100. But I would go as far as to say that molding us into Slot's players, I think, again, I don't think Florian Wirtz is a slot player. I don't think that Dami Szoboszlai is a slot player. But I do think that if we were to go, and this is the last part of my answer, if we were to go down the line or down the path of getting players more like Slot and more in his image of what he wants this team to be, we must all get more settled in to a era of Slot. We must get all settled in this whole Slot out crap and these petitions and all these other things. You might as well just let that go. Because if we're going to get players that emulate this coach, it's not going to be an easy change if something happens and you say, hey, let's go a different direction with a coach. And now this coach has got to come in and we'll be, I think, stuck in a pattern like Manchester United, where you have coaches coaching teams that have players that don't fit their vision, don't fit their style, and they're trying to maneuver and put players in different roles that just don't work. And then you're getting, give me 1, 2, 3 years of rebuilding in my image. And you get further and further behind if that doesn't work. I don't want to be in that place. I don't want to be in that position. I'd rather us. This is the last year of Arne Slot's contract. I think it's notable the fact that, despite the fact that we're going, that most likely Slot's going to be our coach, we have not seen an extension be given to this coach. So as much as you might say, do we get more Slot type players? I don't think you get more slot. The only way you get more slot players is if you already give him an extension. If you give him a 2-3 year extension, more likely a 3-year extension, then you get slot players. But if you're not going to do that, no. Get players that fit what you perceive to be Liverpool's identity, and move from there. And if this coach can't coach those players, you find a coach that can. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it's like, I don't really like that quote, Slot's type of players. What, 80-year-old old age pensioners can't fucking run faster than 2 miles per hour? Because that's the way we play football. You know what I mean? So although the type of players he wants to get some old guys, 80, 90 years old, can't run and stuff. Because that's the way we're going, bro. I'm not into that, Slot's type of players. I don't want to buy no more players under this manager.
Yeah.
When you can't make Wirtz the main man of the Premier League, because we know he's got the talent. We all know that. We've seen it. And you can't turn him into a better player. You'll do something wrong there. Frimpong, Kirkes, Isak, Ekatike. I think Ekatike out the whole lot did the best. Got injured and that, so he ain't really done nothing with the new signings, bro.
Oh wait, I thought that said 3 year. I'm sorry, Jimmy. That says 3-day extension is too much. Okay. All right, my bad. I thought that was 3 years. Because I said 3 years extension.
Jimmy's
said
done.
3 days. I got you.
Everyone is done. But I tell you, ain't done. FSG, they ain't done.
No. I think again, we're talking about a club. Unfortunately, they have a coach that's on his last year, a sporting director that's on his last year, even I forget what his title is for the team, but Edwards on his last year of his contract. Yeah. 3 of the most influential people in our upper, management positions. All 3 of them on their last season, on their last year of their contract.
What is going on officially? What's going on?
And you have a position where there's a lot of turmoil going on. There's teams out there that are actually vying for these people to be a part of their team. I heard Ajax had made an offer or had extended an idea of Arne coming back to Holland, for instance. There's reports that Hughes, if not Edwards, at one time Edwards was connected to Chelsea, then he was connected to, and even before that he was connected to Al Hilal. So was Hughes again as well. There are bidders out there. There are teams out there that would certainly go for this, and also, most notably, our own team, meaning John W. and FSG, have not said yes. We are ready to commit to these gentlemen. It says a lot. I think this next season is make or break, and it could be the first month could be make or break. If we come out the gates, lukewarm, do we do a Brendan Rodgers and bring in a coach or bring in some type of change?
Yeah, but that should have been a while ago. When you look at it, we're going to waste time now. Wirtz is going to have a World Cup, and you want him to come back firing, and this guy's not going to get that happen. He's not good, man. We're wasting time again. We're going to waste another season next season if this is the way we're headed.
Sorry, it sounded like you said, "Oh, nah, what's his name?" Anyway, okay. That's all I can hear. I think you said, "Oh, nah."
Oh, nah, what's his name? Oh, nah, what's his name? Oh, nah, Arne Slot, you're gonna get dropped. Arne Slot, gonna get sacked of all the cack. Arne Slot. Sorry.
Look, at the end of the day, tomorrow could be his last game as well. We don't know that.
It could be. It very well could be.
Just the way he's behaving in that, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's just too much has been said, and then the coach. I mean, if you're going to get that coach, the coach he's been wanting for a while, go and get me Johnny Heitinga back. Just go get him back as well. At least just give us.
I think it'd be too much of make a commitment to Arne again. They're basically saying you've gotten your team. We're not going out to get I don't. Maybe you're right. I think it was a major. There's this. I'm just saying that we had an opportunity to bring him back. We had an opportunity to bring him back during the season.
And they rejected
we
it.
watched them. They rejected it, and they allowed for Spurs to bring him. So it says something right there.
Yeah, but the problem is bigger than Johnny fucking Ettinger. Come on, you know what I mean?
We have to deal with what the fact check.
Come on.
He's going to be staying, so we've got to deal with the fact check. He's staying next season, so
this is what I'm saying, man.
We need to get as little help as we can. Johnny Heitinga, the cat, the doorman, 2 dogs, 3 dogs, 5 snakes, 6 ladders.
Johnny from down the road.
Johnny down the mate. Yeah, we just have to get as much as we can help. He helps a little bit.
This is why I'm worried about our club, because realistically, when you're losing like 100 million in a business you're manager of, and you're getting paid by the company, you're getting sacked tomorrow, bro. That's what he's done. Like, he's lost 100 million. He's lost the Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup. We won nada. Okay, and there's no inkling or sign of we're playing good football there. It's gonna click one day.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Having a drop of water.
Bro, like we played the game. We played the game. We know the game. And for me, when I see players not enthusiastically winning and playing for the team, there's a problem there. I'm going to go back to this PSG game against Munich the other week. That display away at Munich, okay, they let a goal in at the end. That was, for me, top quality players playing for a manager who wants to get shit done. No wonder Arne loves them. No wonder. But Arsenal ain't got a chance in that final if PSG play like they did against Bayern. Yeah.
Let's hope so. Because boy, I'm worried, man.
I'll tell you this: they don't have a chance if PSG play. I'll go one step further. They don't have a chance against PSG if PSG plays like they played against us. And let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. Arsenal does not excel over us. They can't. Arsenal has issues in trying to beat us. Okay.
Yeah.
Much less the fact that we have issues in trying to beat PSG. That's just transit.
That's true.
I was going to get down to what the managers had to say real quick before we're coming on the last 15, 20 minutes of the show. Let's get into the comments for both managers. Arne Slot made one thing crystal clear, I would say, and that is nothing matters more right now than qualifying for the Champions League. Well done. I think, thank you, Captain Obvious, but all the same. I think obviously he's right. Because supporters may focus emotionally on farewells and and everything, or maybe even focusing on the style of play that we deal with. But financially and strategically, Champions League qualification changes everything about the summer. Plain and simple. Recruitment, targets, budget, leverage, all of it. And Slot also admitted something very important, and that is this team is still in transition.
Exactly. I can't hear that, man, no more, man. Come on, man. You're footballers, for Pete's sake. You're trying to tell me Isaac's never fucking scored goals in the Premier League. You're trying to tell me Florian Wirtz didn't win the Bundesliga and smashed it in that season, scoring goals from outside the box. Kirkes voted probably the best left back in the Premier League. Frimpong smashed it in the Bundesliga. Comes here, I can't get fit. Why? Because the manager's telling him, hold your fucking horses. He ain't playing his natural game. That's what happened to Robertson last season. Couldn't find his feet. Why? Because the manager told him not to cross the halfway line. And Robertson's like, pop that. Kirkes said pop that this season. And since Kirkes said that, his game's much improved. There you go, bro. This manager, I don't want to hear these slot players coming in and all that crap. What are slot players, bro? That comment there about slot players coming in and that. Nah. You'll get even world class talent there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Michelin star quality ingredients.
Hey,
and you're trying to tell me you can't serve a dish up? Get the hell out of here.
Hey, our coach also said something that should inspire all of us, right? Our coach said that he's figured it out. He's figured out what's the problem. He's figured out what needs to happen, what we need to do. He has the solution. He's ready to make it happen. It's game 38. He found it only took him 38 games to figure it out.
Yeah, 6 months too late, bro.
Yeah, it only took him 37 games, 37 Premier League games to figure out.
Look, comments like that. And that's the sort of comments you don't really want to hear from the manager of Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know, he sounds like he's Inspector Gadget or something. I figured it out.
Inspector Slot.
You know what I mean? Inspector Slot, he's figured it out, bro.
I have lost 12 games, but I still have a solution.
There you go. Look,
We're going to win 1-0 tomorrow, and Brentford have to score 6 goals. Bournemouth have to score 7 goals. So I figured it out. As long as we get a 1-0, as soon as we score, we'll get everyone behind the ball.
Simple as that. Yeah, I mean,
this is what I don't understand. The guy don't have to run. He don't have to do fuck all. All he's got to tell him to do is tell his players to do it.
Transition, evolution, adaptation, rebuild. Those are all the words. Those are key words you're going to hear. Identity, of course, but all those are key words you're going to hear over the summer. Eventually, supporters will stop wanting explanations and start demanding visible progress. And I think that's something that we should all be cognitive of, in that this coach cannot hide behind excuses any longer. He just can't. He needs to take accountability. He needs to create solutions, and viable ones that last, not temporary ones, not ones that last 1 week and then turn sour the next. I'm talking about viable solutions for this team. Otherwise, you have to find another solution provider, period. But I'll ask this to the panel. How long do you think supporters realistically will tolerate the word? We already know JK is done with it, but how long will you tolerate the word transition? Because I know, for instance, Lawrence McKenna for...
Oh, great. What's he
you know, you haven't heard Lawrence. You haven't heard me brought up Lawrence McKenna in a while.
No, you haven't. You haven't actually. I haven't been there for a week. I haven't said anything. You said you would mention it, but yeah, you will mention that group chat. But yeah.
But Lawrence McKenna has all of a sudden become one of us, in essence, because now all of a sudden he's talking about the football being stale. He's talking about the football not being good enough. He's talking about the disconnection. He's talking about all these little different things in the football. Yet the one thing that he had spoken on before all those things was we needed time. We needed patience. He was on other channels, other broadcasts, his own as well, saying things like, we're going to be in this is the season of transition. And I'm like, we just won a title. What kind of, are we transitioning to Champions League? I'm cool with that. That's the transition I want to be in. That's the only transition I want to be in, is transitioning to winning a Premier League and then transitioning to winning a Champions League. But I don't want to hear the word transition right now at this moment. We obviously have an end of an era, but it's one of those things. I just don't think Liverpool supporters will accept rebuilding periods. I've said this. I said this years ago on Coppish. Liverpool is a team that does not rebuild, in my opinion. Liverpool should be a team that refortifies. And what I mean by refortifies is you have foundational blocks. You're always bringing in players that are going to be those foundational blocks. And rather than have to rebuild and have 3, 4, 5 years of walking through the desert, you should be able to have a foundation on this team that players can step up and play in roles that they're groomed into playing. And I think we will not accept drifting away from the identity that we believe we should be. And I think the real danger for Slot moving forward is holding on to that. Keith Andrews, who is the manager for Brentford, spoke like a manager who's genuinely, and this is what I'm going to say, shout out to him. He genuinely believes Brentford can not only beat Liverpool, he believes that Brentford can hurt Liverpool. And he should believe that. Look, they already beat us. There have been too many games where one mistake suddenly becomes panic at this team. One counterattack suddenly becomes catastrophic. And Brentford are organized enough to punish us. They have a good coach and some very good players that are well seasoned to be able to do so. I'm going to ask Nalante, do you think Slot's comments this week sounded more like confidence or damage control ahead of a massive summer?
A little bit of both, to be honest. He said he's certain, knows what we need, etc., and change, but a little bit of damage control. His interview was, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls in the chat, if you heard his interview, some of you probably have turned it off because he was waffling. I mean, how can Ollie Watkins come out and say, I knew about the high line, so it's easy to expose the high line.
Yeah.
And then he said, oh, well, that's a good... Oh, he goes, oh, that's a good thing. Oh, no, actually, maybe it's not a good thing because they're getting involved, but that shows that we play attacking football. What are you doing? What waffle? Someone needs to silence his mouth, Someone really needs to silence him because what are you doing? Players are coming out saying we know how it's easy to get past you. That's disrespect. It's like someone coming up to you and spitting in your face and what are you going to do about it? Nothing. I mean, what are we doing here? Ladies and gentlemen, what are we doing here? What's the manager, Liverpool FC, coming out with that rubbish? And then the female, he didn't even know what he's thinking. He didn't even know what to say. I mean, can you just make this up? And can you imagine? Exactly, guys. Exactly. Big up, Red Archer, and the rest of you anyway. But can you imagine tomorrow? We lose tomorrow, and we still qualify. I tell you what, if we do lose tomorrow, for about a minute, there's going to be loud boos. It won't be small boos; it'll be loud boos. And then the only cheers you hear is when Salah and Robo come on the pitch to say their farewells.
Yeah,
They'll be a horrible. So imagine that. So at this moment, and again, I can't remember the last time I saw this, and we'll be talking about draws or losses in games. I'm not confident about it tomorrow. I really am not. I can see Brentford beating us. And I really do hope I'm wrong, but at least for this game, Brentford beating us, So, again, right now, tomorrow, regardless of what plays are split or in between, don't like it's football or not, listen, as a football player, we've all played the game. I've played semi-pro. There's one manager, he's a bit of a clueless numpty. Shouting out tech with a little cigarette in his hand. I remember he used to play semi-pro. He had no clue football tactical. His cousin was more tactical. He was our manager, but he's clueless. But you know what? I didn't really like him. But you know what? Still played my game. Because I don't need anyone to tell me. Yeah, unless he's clued up, then yeah, I still played my game. I still fight. I still tackle. Still try to pass it to the attacking players. So what I want these players to do, and again, like I said, this manager has been awful, but these players have let us down big time. They've been dropping the ball. Regardless, you play for the club. Even if you disagree with it, play for the club, play for that bag. Just play one more time. Just give us a little bit of ray of hope tomorrow. And just end tomorrow with a win. And then we can celebrate Mo and Andy's farewell. And after that, what will be, will be. But I really am not confident in this team at all. It feels like we're going to limp tomorrow, but we'll see. We shall see.
We shall see. We shall see. Well, let's get into score predictions here. I have one more segment. I have a moment of zen for all of us, but let's get into score predictions real quick. I'll just rip this Band-Aid off. I have us predict. My prediction is that this game will finish with one more surprise appearance, and that is Desmond Tutu.
Hey.
I have it being 2-2 tomorrow, and I think that scoreline would summarize Liverpool this season. Good enough offensively to score, but fragile enough to defensively to concede. I think Salah scores. I have Salah scoring, and I have Maka scoring as well as our second goal. I know I don't have Maka starting, but I do have Maka scoring as well. So obviously Maka will get some minutes. I also fully expect Liverpool to give supporters at least 2 moments where everybody collectively loses their mind defensively. I think that there will be something that happens, and just when you think all things are safe and sound, there will be something that happens, and you're just like, oh my goodness, here we go again. So that's just my shout. I'd say, what are your predictions as well? Lante, you want to go first?
Yeah, you know what? 3-2 Brentford.
This is going the wrong direction, people. This is not...
3-2 Brentford. This team has just been disgraceful, so I'm not confident. But hopefully they prove me wrong.
Yeah, that's heavy settings. Okay. Well, I think JK will rescue us. I think. I'm not sure, but I think. Go ahead. What's your score prediction?
Oh, that got 2. I think 1-1 or 3-1. 3-1. I'll go 3-1 Liverpool.
Okay. All right. Red Armchair supporter says 3-1.
I knew he's my brother. Every time me and Red Armchair, I always do the sort of same things, man. 3-1.
2-2. Need seriously loud fans. Yes. Beans on Toast is saying 3-2 Brentford. Same thing as Lante, by the way.
Yeah. I hear you, Beans on Toast.
All right. Well,
I think if the sun's shining and the fans are loud for Salah and Robertson, we'll have a good game. Yeah, I think because of Salah and Robertson, the players are gonna lift themselves up and make sure we win. I just think that. I just got a funny feeling.
Game winner.
But 12 man sounds like an evil thing bandit from Batman. Like that's what you think.
My game winner. Joey Gomez, game winner. 3-2. How about that? I'll go.
You changed your tune, haven't you? Yeah, you changed your tune. You know what? Speaking of Joey G, I actually saw him training. He's got a top corner goal. He's got a bell right training. So
it was his birthday as well yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So hopefully that's an omen. I doubt it, but hopefully it's an omen.
Kind of stealing some of my thunder for the Red Zen, but okay. Yeah. Yes, it is, Joey G.
You should let us know beforehand, bro.
I know. No worries.
Don't say this.
It's all good.
Put a little star sign next to it. Don't say this, bro. Okay.
It's all good. Well, let's just hope Ali can start tomorrow. I hope that our coach is magnanimous and humble enough to read the room and start Robbo so he can get his flowers, and also for Salah to start as well. If Salah doesn't start after everything surrounding those social media comments and the heavy metal football comments and the likes, Lone Sheep says 4-2 Liverpool. Okay. Then, there might be, I'm not advocating for this, but there might be trouble at Anfield. There might be I don't want to say riots, but there will certainly be some angry people at Anfield and all over the world if he doesn't start Salah. Regardless of disagreements about style, Salah deserves the final walk, I think. He deserves that final roar. He deserves one last Anfield moment for everything that this guy has given to this club. And I mean everything. We all do humbly say thank you. End of an era to him, end of an era to Robbo, end of an era to possibly some other players, maybe Ali, maybe Curtis Jones, maybe Chiesa, maybe even Joe Gomez. Look, before we close tonight, I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think supporters will remember most about this season? 5 years from now, what do you think most people will say about this season? What's going to be the headline, or what would be the narrative that they say, right? I guess some seasons are remembered for trophies, which we got none of. Some are remembered for collapses, which we had plenty of. Some are remembered as the warning signs before major change, which is apparently something that we're being told to be wary of. But I said I have a moment of Red Zen. I will start with, it was the first bit of my Red Zen anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I will go with this being a moment of Red Zen. Happy birthday to Joey G. He is an incredible steward of Liverpool football. I think he's someone that definitely measures up to every understanding of what a Liverpool player should and can be. I don't know if you haven't seen the interview that he does. It's done on Redman TV. It's one of those I think Jan Mobley was the one who was a part of the interview. I want to say he was in the interview. Maybe I'm thinking of Jan Mobley with Curtis Jones, but it was one of those kind of interviews where they have like a former Liverpool legend, and they have a like an anchor or some type of like host, and then they have a player, and they sit at this like round table and they talk football.
Oh yeah. I think the presenter, that NFC presenter with Jan, and then he speak with the player in it. And I don't even play. I think Trent in the past.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
If you get a chance, check out the episode with Joey G. It is incredibly, it's empowering. It's definitely a beautiful piece in the sense of, because he breaks it down about, going through a lot of hardships in the sense of, physically with his family, in the sense of with the team, his play, and the sheer fact that Liverpool's fan base, his family were always with him and always supportive. And it inspired him to always believe that he could overachieve, or he could achieve the goals and successes that he would put in front of him. And it was a beautiful moment. I'd also like to give a shout out right now to this man right here. He's wearing a different kit. I get that, but all the same, shout out to Henderson that will have his moment to shine tomorrow. Hopefully it is at the end of the 90-minute whistle, where he can say hello and goodbye to the fans, not on the pitch during the 90 minutes. But shout out to Hendo. And what else do I have in my red set? Oh, I have a great. I just wanted to say that I wanted to say this. So I know this captain of ours has taken definitely from one captain to the next. We've seen this captain take a lot of criticism. I think some rightfully so, and others not so much. I think it's been a little bit over the top sometimes when it comes to some of the things that people say about Virgil van Dijk. I still think Virgil van Dijk is easily top 5 center halves in the Premier League this season. Even on possibly one of his worst seasons, he is top 5. But Virgil van Dijk has played 4,000. Keep in mind, let me say this loud and clear, Mr. Quasi Bold. I am hollering at you too, especially brother to the show, Quasi Bold. Virgil van Dijk has played 4,851 minutes this season in all competitions. That is the most by any Liverpool outfield player since Sami Hyypiä in 2005 and 2006. That stat alone explains the season that we've had. We've had overworked leaders. We've had poor squad balance. We've had too many injuries, too much reliance on too few players. And despite everything, Liverpool still walk into the final day with Champions League football in their hands.
We're lucky.
I'm going to say that all of those that don't think that Virgil van Dijk takes the responsibility of being captain of this team seriously, look at yourselves in the mirror. Because this man has not taken one day off. He hasn't even taken 1 minute, basically, off. He has played full 90s. Evening games, he shouldn't play full 90s in.
Yeah.
And if you don't think that that says leadership, if you don't think that that says someone that knows that he's going to have to, at the end of the day, stand in front of a camera and have to give excuses or have to give reasons or have to take the arrows of the journals. If you don't understand why when people in that locker room speak of Virgil van Dijk, and when they say the adjective or the characteristic that they think of when they say Virgil van Dijk, the first thing they say is leader. Big up to your captain, my captain, VVD. That's not all of the that's not all. I have some great other pictures here. I wanted to end the show on this right here. I wanted to, let me see if I can get this to be a bigger image. This is a tribute, obviously, to this is a tribute to obviously Robbo and to Salah. The whole team gathered for this one. It's got to be incredibly tough for these two players, much less their teammates as well. Beautiful moment and certainly something to remember. But what did you guys want to say before I show the last moment of Red Zen here? What did you guys want to say to the people before we let them do what they need to do on their Saturday? JK, go ahead. Or no, they're not.
Okay, yeah. No, I'll just say big up everyone in the chat. Big up the people. Looks like we've got good numbers in tonight. It's been a long season. Fortunately, it's been a frustrating season for more ways than other. You know, we started off sadly with the basically the passing of our number 20 forever. You know, and sad. And unfortunately, it just hasn't gone our way this season due to maybe players being affected, form, players, the manager, and it's been a very poor season and one we're going to forget. You know, Arsenal winning the league, horrible. Not as both United, horrible. They're in the Champions League final, and we're near enough, really, to be honest. We qualify for Champions League unless we make a collapse of collapse, and in-house fighting. So the only thing I can say, ladies and gentlemen, let's just hopefully we get tomorrow with a win. And in the words of and I'll put a smile to your faces. In the words of our great maestro, our ex-manager, Mr. Jurgen Klopp, yard, we got the ball, money, Salah, money, boom! Good night.
Go ahead, JK.
I'm going to come back after that. Look, bro, football, man, it gives you players like these two guys. For me, Robertson, I can big up him up in a couple of ways. For me, money for money, the best ever Premier League signing ever. When you look at the figure we got him for, 6-7 million, something like that, you ain't tell me a better deal than that. Maybe a free. That's about it. Got the most assists as a left back. Was up there with Trent. I think Trent's still leading that then, isn't he? So, but all in all, bro, what a guy. Attitude, determination. He had a hard life when he sort of grown up and that. He didn't have golden spoon or fuck all, and he cracked on with it. And he's a prime example of putting a shift in and getting to the top. He when he was playing for Hull, you could never imagine one day he's going to win Premier League titles and Champions League titles. You know what I mean, bro? So, respect to Andy Robertson, man. I can't believe it. And for me, I felt sorry for him last season because he was the main guy out of the team, the squad, who didn't seem to understand what Arne Slot was trying to do. And so last season was, for me, the worst season ever Robertson had for us. And that was a shame, and I think that was more down to the manager. So, but he's going to leave proper legend. Probably, if there's a Liverpool 11, he could hit that left back spot, at the greatest team of all time. And on the other end, you got Salah, bro. What a player. Determination. Come from a village in Egypt and smashed it in the Premier League, man. Wow. And he didn't just do it. He did it season in, season out. 1 second, bro.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. Give JK a moment. He's getting obviously touched and you're getting very emotional.
No, I'm trying to cough, bro. No, but when I was watching that documentary, bro, my eyes were watering yesterday with Salah. You know what I'm saying? It was like, them times are gone.
Mm-hmm.
And is this manager going to bring them times again back? I can't see it. So I wish Salah didn't say what he said. I wish he left it until the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I didn't really. I think timing-wise, I think Nalante's main thing is Salah. What he says is probably right, but it's all about the timing when he says it. I don't think it was the right timing as well. So for me, Salah is a prime example to the youth players. You can go from anywhere in the world, and you can smash it in the Premier League. That's for me what Salah is. He's from Egypt, bro, a village. Come on, how many? Even India, whatever. You get a kid from there, growing up, I want to be a footballer, and he comes to England, to Chelsea, didn't really do that great. I went to Italy, did his hard work there, smashed it, Liverpool, bang, the rest is history, bro. For me, Premier League top 11 players, he's in it on the right wing, 100%. Liverpool's best ever 11, he's on the right wing. I can't say anything more than that, bro.
Yeah, pretty much said it all right there, for sure.
That's why tomorrow we're going to get a win for them two guys, man. Yeah.
Said it all. Well, my Reds out there, I will say this. You can call it a horrible season, but I won't say that it's horrible in this sense. Every moment we get to spend watching games or spending time talking about our team or just making new friendships and the likes amongst each other, I think is a positive day. And it is one where, despite all the things that have gone down this season, I think that some of the moments that we've had this year have been very difficult for some of us. Gone through some, speak for all of us, actually. I know some of us have gone through some very, very difficult times. And in the end, much like our football club, we've had each other's backs, as in we've all walked this walk together. And you've never really felt like you're walking alone. So to say a shout out to everyone out there, the OGs, the newbies, the even the rivals, that make us work that much harder and that much more determined in fighting against the banter. Big up to yourselves. Definitely give a shout out to yourselves, because I think that, without the support of each other this season, a lot of us would have not only turned off the TV or maybe turned down going to the playing fields. The bottom line is we would have maybe just tuned out in general. And having each other means something. So I hope that we remain strong and come back next season even more invigorated, more empowered, more determined, and more together. I won't say the word united. All right, I won't say that, or the U word. I won't say. Okay, I know I just did, but but I will come back even more together, hopefully, and even more determined to make a real message and make the world understand that this liver bird is going to fly high. So with that said, up the Reds. And I will give you this last bit of Red Zen. Hey, if whatever they might say about this era, whatever they might say about our team, whatever they might say about even us, we have had the ability to say that we had two greats that helped us put a lot of out there for our rivals. Shout out to all of us for walking the walk and believing in this team, going from doubters to believers. Shout out to each and every one of you. Up the Reds, and we will see you for a roll call tomorrow. I will do a roll call. I'll be at my supporter pub tomorrow, so I will be not only there, but I will do a post game, a post match show, but it'll be at 9 at the same time it was today, which is like 9:30 or something around that time is when I'll be able to get back from my supporter pub and get settled and be able to get ready for it. Because after the games, especially if we win, there's way too much noise. There's people singing and there's jukeboxes going on and everything. So, so join us tomorrow. Shout out to each and every one of you, and definitely take care. See you tomorrow.
Peace.